Dev Sports, man. It's Lamont here. We back with another video, man. Hey, man. Today we got some stuff we got to talk about, man. The playoffs are happening right now. The one thing that's intriguing me most this week so far, aside from just some of the basketball games, is there was the draft lottery. We now know the order of the teams that will be selected in the draft, and the Golden State Warriors were able to secure the number 2 pick in the NBA draft this year. Their GM has came out and stated that trade is on the trade block. If the right deal comes up, they're willing to make a trade to better their team. And we already know that they got Steph, Clay, Draymond, Andrew Wiggins. They got Eric Pascal off the bench. They got a few other, guys like Jordan Poole, rookies that are developing where they've rounded out a very solid team. Everybody's going to be back healthy next year. It's looking like Golden State's going to be a very, very strong contender for the championship, especially if they can make the right moves in the draft or whether they trade that pick to bolster their roster. So what we've come up with today is just a few trade scenarios that are very plausible for the Golden State Warriors, and that's what we're going to be breaking down today. Before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Again, we're going to keep coming out with these videos. As long as you guys keep subscribing, engaging all the content, we're going to keep coming out with all the content and all the video requests that you guys ask about. So this was something that the subscribers have been mentioning to me in the comments, sending me emails about. So I decided to do a video on what are all the possible trade scenarios that the Golden State Warriors could maybe pull off to bolster that roster, and how would it benefit the specific team. So we're not even going to waste no time in getting started. We're going to go ahead and start off with the first trade that you see on the screen right here. We got the Golden State Warriors receiving Ben Simmons and the 21st pick in the draft. They're going to trade Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, the second pick, and the 2021 first round pick from Minnesota next year. And again, that 21 pick is going to be very essential. It's going to be very essential because, again, that could be another lottery pick. Now, that pick is lottery protected, which means if Minnesota finds themselves in the lottery again, or it's top 3 protected. So if that pick is a top 3 pick going into next year, after the lottery happens, then that pick stays with Minnesota. If it's outside of the top 3, then it goes to whatever team has that particular pick. And with Minnesota having the first pick this year, D'Angelo Russell, Karl-Anthony Towns, everybody's going to be back healthy. I don't think it's likely that they will be a lottery team next year, or a team that's eligible to get a top 3 pick. So more than likely, that's another valuable pick as well to be traded. I think Ben Simmons would be great for this team. That would be great for both. Ben Simmons struggles to shoot the ball. He just needs to be a playmaker. He needs to be able to attack the rim. The spacing that the Golden State Warriors will give him to do that will be crazy. He won't have Joel Embiid clogging up the paint, so this guy could dominate from the outside in. Also, allow Steph to play his natural role, shooting guard, play off the ball a lot more. And again, that would be a great addition to the Golden State Warriors if they could get Ben Simmons, a 6'10" point guard from the 76ers. All right, next up, we got the Warriors. Obviously, we know the Warriors definitely need a big. Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive bigs in the NBA, would definitely fill that void. This is a guy that he'll get all the cleanup points. Does not necessarily care about scoring the ball. You can tell that he just cares about winning and playing defense. If you pair him with one of the best defenders in the league already, Draymond Green, again, that's going to make you defensively stout on the interior right there. So, again, based on what I see, to make the money work, Rudy Gobert, Emmanuel Mudiay in that 23rd pick, that's what the Warriors would get. They would have to give up Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and the number 2 pick this year. And again, the thing is, if the Warriors can actually make a trade and keep the pick that they have either this year or keep the pick from Minnesota next year, that's going to give them more room to make even more moves to bolster their roster. So if they can make a deal that allows them to keep one of those picks, that's going to be great for the Golden State Warriors. All right, next up, we got this is a trade. Now, this is kind of fizzled out. This was just a rumor kind of circulating out there that this could potentially happen. That's kind of died down. But Aaron Gordon, again, he could fill a void that the Warriors need. They need some type of interior presence. Aaron Gordon's kind of struggled with his outside shot. This would give him the opportunity to do what he does best on the interior. Al-Farouq Amino, just another long, lengthy forward who can actually defend is what they need, who can defend size. They would have to give up Andrew Wiggins and the number 2 overall pick. I think that's a bit much for that combination of players. I don't necessarily like that trade, but it was floating around out there, so I did have to mention it. All right, we got Steven Adams and Darius Baisley for Andrew Wiggins and the number 2 overall pick. Now, this is another trade that I don't necessarily like, even though the Warriors do need a big. I just don't. I mean, Darius Baisley is promising. He's shown glimpses. He's shown flashes. Is it something that they need? Well, they would definitely need him if they traded Andrew Wiggins. And Steven Adams, injury prone. We see how he's playing in the playoffs now. I don't know if he would be the same player. I just don't like this trade, especially when you're giving up the number 2 overall pick along with it. I think you can get a lot more than that. But again, the money works, and if it's something that the Warriors like, I think they'll pull the trigger. Next trade, we got Joel Embiid to the Warriors. The Warriors will have to give up Klay Thompson and the number 2 overall pick. Now, it looks great. I think they could potentially get Embiid without giving up Klay Thompson. I think if you give up Wiggins along with the number 2 overall pick this year, or maybe that Minnesota pick next year, maybe you can pull Joel Embiid away from the Sixers without having to give up Klay Thompson. I just don't see the Golden State Warriors giving up and breaking up that partnership with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. But again, this is a trade scenario. The money works because of their contracts. And again, we don't know what direction the Warriors want to go. I just, if I had to take a wild guess, I just don't think splitting the Splash Brothers up is something that's in their future. All right, and this one right here, this was one of my favorite. When I saw this particular trade scenario right here, this was one that I really, really think could potentially happen. And this is the Warriors getting Bradley Beal. And because of Steph Curry's ability to play point guard or shooting guard, they can easily make this work. Klay has the ability to play 3, even the 4 position if they play small ball. Again, it would just make them more dynamic with regards to scoring. It would just, they would be definitely elite scoring the ball. Defensively, I don't know how stout they would be. It would just depend on what they could do to bolster that roster in free agency. But we got Andrew Wiggins, Eric Pascal, the number 2 overall pick this year, and that lottery protected pick from Minnesota next year for Bradley Beal. If I'm the Warriors, this is something I would definitely have to look at. I would really, really have to look at this right here. But again, I think they're looking for something a bit more dynamic, a player who can kind of offset what the Splash Brothers already do. That's why I think a Ben Simmons would fit this Golden State Warrior team just a bit better. The next trade, this is with the Pacers. And this is another trade that I really like as well because it can fill multiple holes for the Golden State Warriors. This would be Miles Turner and TJ Warren to the Pacers, or from the Pacers to the Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and that number 2 pick. And there's 2 reasons why I like this. They can keep the lottery protected pick next year, maybe use that in another trade to bolster their bench or their roster. They fill the center position because they need that size and they need an elite defender, and they fill that power forward position. They desperately need scoring from the 4 spot. And we just saw TJ Warren average 38 a game in the bubble. We know he can fill the stat sheet up. We know he can score the ball. If you pair him with a coach like Steve Kerr, who's just going to unleash the reins and allow him to go do his thing and just go score the ball and play defense, again, this trade right here really, really makes sense. The Pacers have held on to Miles Turner for a long time now, and it really hasn't worked out. So I could see him on the trade block, although the Pacers say different. But again, if the Pacers are offered that number 2 pick, if any team's offered that number 2 pick in any trade scenario, you have to consider it because of the versatility of the draft this year. These are the trade scenarios that I think could potentially happen. I'll be doing another episode on all of the potential free agents that the Warriors could possibly sign. If I had to bet money on it, I would think that Golden State is going to be looking at players like Eric Gordon, players like a Joe Harris, who are going to be in that free agent market. JJ Redick is also going to be in the free agency market. So, we really have to kind of look at some things, but they have a lot of flexibility with what they could do with the number of quality picks that they have to trade. Players that could be used as trade blades, such as Andrew Wiggins, some of those promising young guys off the bench, Jordan Poole. They can really revamp their roster, and not revamp it in a way to where it's different, because their core is going to be the same, but you're surrounding these guys with high-level, high-quality players that Steve Kerr can turn into champions. So, again, you guys, let me know what you think about these trade scenarios. Is there something else floating around out there? Do you have any other trade ideas of your own? Make sure if you come to us with your trade ideas, make sure the money works. Make sure the math works. Again, just throwing players and numbers out there. It's not a video game. We try to look at this thing from a more realistic perspective. These are the most realistic trade scenarios, not just because they look good, but because they also fill needs for both teams. But again, you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what potential trades you see maybe unfolding. Or do you think the Golden State Warriors are just going to hold on to this picks? We don't know. But again, it's FYF Sports, another great episode. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Again, we're going to keep dropping these videos. We're going to keep dropping this content. All you guys got to do is just keep engaging, and we're going to keep giving you all the videos that you're asking for. Please stay tuned. Please make sure you have that notification bell rung. We will be going live soon. When we do go live, you're going to want to tune into that. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be an event. There will be winners of every live debate that we have. Winners will receive a cash prize for the day. So, again, you're going to want to tune in. So, make sure if you're subscribed to FYF Sports, hit the notification bell. Because when we go live, you're going to want to jump in. You're going to want to hop in one of those calls, because you may say the right thing that day that can win you cash money sent to you that same day. But FYF Sports, man, another great video on the Golden State Warriors. Here we are.
Working off an impulse, haters did tell me that's an impulse. Trying to throw salt with an insult. Getting cash money, I'm in the results. No words, body language, how we talk. Niggas straight to the point like a pitchfork. Lead by example, always make it happen. Carry out my vision, lead like a captain. Stayed up in P's and transactions. Keep my 9, that's for any static. Smoke so much, got my eyes slanted. For the bitches and the cheese, yeah, I'm addict. Switching track themselves while some adding. All them counting up checks, stay adding. Met a public came edition way back when. Stayed down 10 toes, all I do is win. Zones out, can't lose, nigga like the playoffs. Zoned out, locked in, nigga like play ball. Call a spade like we playing cards. In the cut, cup of diamonds since I ran it up. Zones out, can't lose, nigga like the playoffs. Zones out, locked in, nigga like play ball. Call a spade like we playing cards. In the cut, cup of diamonds since I ran it up. Always trapping hard, I get them racks in. Stay flipping packs, I get them racks in. Spiffy design it down, I get them racks in. Stay switching whips up and out the coupe, I get them racks in. Always trapping hard, I get them racks in. Stay flipping packs, I get them racks in. Spiffy design it down, I get them racks in. Stay switching whips up and out the coupe, I get them racks in. Ayy. Set shit off, I'm a young gunner. Keep the pistol, won't take shit from me. Been robbed, now I keep it on me. Try me, I find dummy. Was broke down, they ain't had no money. These niggas and bitches was acting funny. Cut it short, rap it like a mummy. Keep racks round, stay stunting. Bust a move, Spiffy been hustling. Soldier, Spiffy been a hustling. Know how to give out testies to the cousins. Bust up, cause it's all or nothing. Get packs out, get racks in. Shine hard, my bitches get cash to spend. Do what you want, niggas get an ass to kiss. Literally, I'm the only one that you kiss. My take a shopping out sacks, hit this grass and lay back. 10 toes with these packs, got healthy pockets, trip the fat. I'm doing media upset, I repeat the school to be up next. Move the front from the back, some real niggas got my back. Now check me off, I'm a blast. We strapped up, fuck the fashion, take me off, I'm a blast. Trapping hard, I get them racks in. Stay flipping packs, I get them racks in. Spiffy design it down, I get them racks in. Stay